Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. How are you guys doing? Today is the day that we're going to paint this fun little, let's see if I can get this out of the way, this fun little mailbox painting. And I'm going to teach you how to like write your name on there too. Like you can put the Perrys or whatever your name is. So let's see, so layout. All right. As usual, I'm going to get this tracer ready for you after we paint this. Unless you just want to try to draw it on, you can. And the first thing that we are going to do is the background color. So they have just used a light yellow color. So I've got Sunny Day from Deco Art and some white and a large flat brush. So I'm just going to dip into a little of both of those and just start messily painting the background. Just paint around the flowers and the mailbox and all that stuff. I hope you guys are doing well. Didn't see anything that you guys painted last week on Creative Week, but I hope you've got something painted. I finally got my website up and running. That was taking most of my energy in April, but I got it done. So now I'm going to focus on like what I'd like to do is get the membership on the website as well so that you guys can access the tutorials from Facebook, but also over there. I'm trying to, that's my next big effort technology wise to figure out how to do. And then open it back up at some point once I have things, I don't know, set up like I want it. The technology is the hardest part of this whole thing. So if it's too yellow, just throw some more white in there. Make sure I've got the edge painted. I am doing a 16 by 20 canvas today. So it's a little bigger. And I might have to change next week's painting. I don't know. I need to look for a few more things. I might have to switch it to something else. So I'll keep y'all updated. The background is just super messy. Like you don't even have to do yellow if you don't want to do yellow. You can switch up the colors. It's just white and yellow. Just kind of filling stuff in. I'm painting on top of an old canvas. Not really old, it's new, but sometimes when people sign up for in-person paint parties, they don't show up. And I've got this canvas with the drawing all over it. So I did do a white coat of paint to try to cover some of that up because it's pretty hard to erase. All right, so that was a pretty easy background. move that out up there. And now we're going to work on the board, or whatever you want to call it, this part. I'm going to grab some burnt umber, which is just like a brown, Deco Art brown. I'm going to start with that and see what else I need. I'm probably going to need some black and some white too. My favorite way to do wood is like with a palette knife. So I'm probably going to grab a palette knife. All right, I've got my angle brush, and the first thing I'm going to do is just put down a layer of brown, because we did a board like this when we did those hydrangeas earlier this year. So it's going to be the same kind of technique that we used there. And my paint strokes are going to go just up and down, so that it's going to start looking like wood grain. I'm sorry, y'all still there? Got a phone call. Looks like everything's still working, so hopefully it is. That was my kid's dentist, who I called a week ago, and they just now called a week and a day ago, and they're just now calling me back. So I'm not going to worry about that until I get done. They sent me a text message and said that we owed them money. I was like, can you send a bill? It's like, what is this for? I'm not just going to send you money. Don't know what it's for. All right, so that looks really dark to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab some white and just kind of put some white in there and see what happens. Where it's still kind of wet, it kind of mixes. Well, that has some green in it. Didn't mean to do that. And if you do too much white, then you can just grab some brown and go back over it. Right here, I'm just going to kind of like pounce it in, because it's supposed to look like the end of the wood. So let's just start building that up. I'm going to throw a little in there. I'm going to grab some more brown. Over that white. So it's starting to look like wood a little bit. All right, I think I'm going to grab some black on my brush and throw some of that in here and there and see what that looks like. I grab some more brown over here. It was just too much. Too much. All right, now I'm going to grab my palette knife, and I'm going to dip into some white and start spreading some white down this side. Because ideally this side over here is going to be lighter. Because that's where the sun is. And then right here, it's going to be lighter. So I'm just dragging some pure white across there. All right, and then in the darker sides, I'm going to take some black on my palette knife and run that down it. You could also grab some brown, put some on the top. Some like this. And all right, I think that's good enough. This is not our focal point, and I could spend all day messing around with this, but I think that's good enough for now. Get it dry. We're going to do the mailbox next. It's kind of a bluish gray color. And I've got this bluish gray color that's called Silver Marlin. It's a folk art color. So I think I'm going to start with that. And just get it filled in. Been painting on this plate for 2 days. So it's kind of a mess. All right, you're gonna leave, let's see. Maybe that's a little too dark. Let me get some white in there. All right, so I lightened it up just a little bit with some white. Throw a little white down there. A little white around that bit. This is the, I don't know what you call it. It's a thing that you grab to open the mailbox. And I want to make that lighter so that we can see it a little bit for now. Okay. And really, all of this stuff is just gray. Get some more white out here. Just getting a base coat. And fill it in. All right, we got it all filled in. This is supposed to have a little bit on it. I'll be able to see it. I'm going to take a little bit of black and mix it with our blue color and see if I can get a little bit of like low lights around some of the edges. I'm going to use a little bit different brush. So it's just that same color, but we mix a little black with it. to give it a little low light. Okay. All right. Hopefully that's starting to look like a mailbox. Let's see. You want the flag to be white. It's got a lot of water in it. Go ahead. I'll draw that. Paint this white. Just using my little brush. Just get it filled in. And then I'm going to go back with that gray and black mixture and kind of add my shadows back in. And you want a shadow underneath this a little bit. Let's see. So there's a little bit of shadow there. All right. Next thing we're going to do is add our green in. Let's see. I'm going to start with a dark Hauser green. It's a deco art. And I think I'm going to use I don't know. I wanted a liner brush, but I think I'm just going to use this big flat brush. Make sure it's damp. because you're really just filling in. This is like a base coat to fill in everything down here that isn't a flower. And we want the dark, we want to fill it with the dark green first. This is a problem with this big brush, can't get in those little corners. But it covers well. Yeah. So we're going to put a few different like coats of green on here, but you want to put the darker one on there first. The sides. Sorry if you couldn't see that. Let's get it all filled in. It's going to overlap the mailbox and this guy. Square it a little bit more out. All right, and then you're gonna have, these are like on vines, right? So you can put as many of those up here as you want. But you definitely want to fill in those blank spots. I'll probably go back and add some more stuff to that soon. All right, so I'm gonna wash that brush out. I'm gonna get my little angle brush back out just because I like to work with that one a little more. I'm gonna get out some lighter greens. I've got Hauser light green. I've got a eucalyptus leaf green. I've also got citron green. So any like lighter green, you can just start, start drawing leaves in. Just adding some variation back here. You don't want to cover everything up. you want to see some of that dark. You just want to have messy, like overlapping leaf shapes. If you like all the dark, you can just leave the dark. It's kind of up to you how you want this to look. These layers of green really, I don't know, they look good to me. All right, and definitely up here, you want to add some more. You can put some up here. Coming around. All right. So I feel like that needs to be bigger. All right, so we got a bunch of leaves in there. It's starting to look like a mailbox. That's what we want, right? Okay, and now we are going to add some red on this, on the flag. So let me grab country red, deco art. And I'm going to get my little liner brush and paint it. All right, so that's red, and then you want to grab a little white and give it just a little bit of highlight up there on the top. And then I'm also going to put a little highlight on this part. I'm going to go back and highlight the mailbox too. All right, you've got red out there. let's do some flowers. You could have red flowers. I'm going to use wildberry from Deco Art and white. And then the centers are going to be yellow. All right, so I'm going to do the centers last. I'm going to paint the whole thing in with the wildberry color. Paint the whole leaf in, or petal, and then you're going to take white and kind of go around the edges. Now, you don't have to do the white part if you don't want to. But it gives that little something. And grab some white and just outline the edges of the petal. All right. So I'm going to do all my flowers and then go back and do all the centers. I'm just using pink and white. It's a wildberry pink. Just put it in with pink and then go back while the paint's still wet and add white around the edge. All right. When you're painting anything, you always want to paint the stuff in the background first. I say always, and maybe not always, but most of the time, you want to paint the stuff in the background first. It just makes life a little easier. If we didn't already paint all this green on there, then we'd have to go back and paint green around the flowers. And you want the flowers to like be your focal point. You want them to be in the front. Maybe not your focal point, but you definitely want them to stand out more than you do the greenery. All right. Got them all. Got them all on there. Now, I'm going to take a little drink. I'm going to start by using the background color, that yellow we used originally. See if it blends in too much. I don't know. All right, so I just used that Sunny Day and then some saffron yellow, which is kind of a, I don't know, a little bit darker of a yellow to fill in those centers. All right, and then we'll take some white and just put a little bit of highlight in the centers. Just a tad, just a touch. And you could put a little in some of this green, just like a touch here and there. Just a little bit. All right, and now I'm gonna dry it. And now is when you want to put your name on there. You're giving it as a gift, put it somebody else's name on there. All right, and I think I will use just a normal pencil, and you want to I don't know, I've got this little ruler. You want to kind of make sure you've got things lined up. And I'm going to put, or that you're drawing on a straight line. I'm going to put the in print letters. See, I just drew down to the edge of that. Well, it's hard to see. I'm going to go over this in paint pen. Just drew down to the edge of that. And I'm going to kind of keep this here, but not really, I don't know, not use it a lot. I'm going to I'm going to pick it up because I want that tail to come down. And then I spelled it wrong. The Perry. Let's see. We're gonna do I don't know if that looks right or not, but we're going with it. All right. I'm using a paint pen. If I can find one that works. I'm just gonna go over what I drew. Now, if you drew something in pencil and then you can like clearly see right now that it's not how you want it to be, then put it where it needs to go. And then you can go back and erase pencil lines. You can do this whole thing in print if you want. You don't have to do this at all. You can leave it just a mailbox if you want. All right. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the down strokes thicker. So wherever your hand went down, the line's going to get thicker. And then you just fill it in. That's good. And go down so it's thicker. I'm not making a mess because the green wasn't all the way dry, so it's sticking to my hand. It's okay. I'll fix it. All right. So we would be done, but now I've got to fix what I messed up. I can take, oh, that's got yellow in it. You can either paint over your marks that you didn't mean to make, or erase the pencil marks. Since I've got the paint out, I'm just going to play with the paint. That needs to be whiter. All right. I think we're good, except for right here. I don't want that to overlap. I might want to, I don't know, put a few more highlights on here. Put some white in a few different spots. All right, y'all, we might be about done. Just kind of play with it. And I think we might be done. It wasn't too terribly hard. You can do whatever you want to with the name, you guys. It doesn't have to be super complicated. You can print it. Just whatever makes it easier for you. I'm gonna try to fix it and then cause other problems. All right, you guys, that is it for today. If you need the tracer, let me know. I will work on getting that drawn out and uploading all that good stuff. But I'd love to see what you make, and can't wait to see what you guys have been painting. Hope you guys have a great day, and thank you so much for being here. And I will see y'all next week. Bye, everybody.